guys, welcome back to Any Sooner. As always, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Join the family. We're always excited to have you guys. Guys, welcome back to Indie Sooner. It's your boy JP. Welcome back again. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're excited to bring to you guys today the defensive back room at the University of Oklahoma. Now, we talked about the safeties last week, and there's going to be a mesh point here with the Nickelbacks. We're going to get into that. I'll dive a little bit more into the Nickelbacks. I kind of did half of a segment with them with the safeties, just because some people could see them as an extra safety, but at the same time, obviously they play up on press coverage a lot. Sometimes they'll drop back and Grinch's scheme. So again, we'll dive into that a little bit. I'm excited about the rest of this week. We'll also be doing the offensive line, defensive line at the end of this week and early next week. Really excited for that one. And then next Saturday, hey, that's the big one, right? We got the spring game coming up. That's what we've been kind of building towards. So looking forward to that. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I may have already said that, but that's okay. It's a double reminder for y'all. Follow me at Indie_Sooner on Twitter and join the family. Repping my Horizon Lions, where I'm the AD at. Go ahead and follow me over there at Lions_HCS on Twitter. Follow my school's journey, trying to build the program up. Got my OU hat on though. We ready to roll. Don't get it twisted. So the defensive back room, in my opinion, is very underrated, and maybe not to other people, but the defensive backs at OU have been toasted the last really since Zach Sanchez left. That defensive room, specifically the defensive back room, has been just marred, right? And just people talking so much trash about them. They're trash. Not even just college football, but OU fans too. And you know, really, we had some bones to pick, right? I mean, Jordan Thomas fell off out of nowhere. We had Piedmont who didn't do great under Mike Stoops. We had Trey Norwood and Trey Brown that came in and played well as freshmen under Mike Stoops and got, they were starting in the Rose Bowl. They did what they could. They could only do so much as freshmen. But then sophomore years didn't really make a jump, right? Then finally we get Mike Stoops out of there. Grinch comes back 2019. Piedmont has a pretty good year, okay? Better than pretty good. He's one of the best defensive backs in the country as far as one-on-one coverage. Now, he had done so much damage to the draft stock over the years. He was only drafted. Actually, he didn't get drafted. Excuse me. He was undrafted. And hey, he did get picked up by the Bucks for a little bit. And I think he's with the Broncos now. And he did get to play in some games. So kudos to him for working hard and getting himself in that position. Trey Brown was another one that has put himself in prime draft position. We're hoping that he can go, middle round, 4th, 5th round, something like that. And, if you would talk to other people about Trey Brown a couple years ago, we don't think he's getting drafted, right? So this is a room that, is on the come up. Trey Norwood had the best defensive year by a defensive back since Zach Sanchez. Had 5 interceptions last year for us. Still think he could have benefited from another year, but he's going to the league, right? So again, it's trending upward. And a lot of people say, well, okay, it's trending upward, but why would you say that they're underrated or they're potentially the second best unit on the defense besides the defensive line? No, we'll just say depth, right? The fact that we're probably going to be able to throw 3 guys out there at almost either corner spot that we are pretty comfortable with. I mean, what else can you say? Right? We got Woody Washington, and we're going to have probably Jaden Davis and maybe even DJ Graham on one side. Okay, so that's just right there, right? And you can switch them out either way you want to. DJ Graham is just a natural. I don't know if y'all remember that pick he had against was it Oklahoma State, I think, last year. Y'all have to remind me in the comment section. But the one where he high-pointed that ball, bang, brought it down. Amazing. Beautiful. The ball instincts. That's what Alex Grinch talked about with him. And we started to see it come to life. And he was only, what, a redshirt freshman last year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. No, he's a true freshman. True freshman last year. Going to be a sophomore this year, true sophomore. So, again, you have that, right? Potential starters there. Jaden Davis battling with one of those three for a starting position. I'm hearing Latrell McCutcheon is pushing. And we've been told Latrell's that dude. Straight out of Austin, Texas, the heart of UT. Horns down all day, so he said. He doesn't care. He doesn't like Texas. Want nothing to do with him. Wanted to come north of the Red River and join the real big boys. Okay? At the end of the day, Latrell's a dog. And that's what he's proven in spring practices so far. I mean, he's pushing for potentially a starting spot by the fall, is what we're hearing. So that's no small feat, especially with who we have. That's no small feat at all. So the fact that he might be able to push a DJ Graham, he might be able to push a Jaden Davis, a Woody Washington, that is insanity for me, especially coming in as a true freshman in your spring. For them to feel that good about you moving forward is insane to me. Then you look at the two deep, right? And you go past that, right? Like I said, Latrell McCutcheon may be battling. You got Joshua Eaton, who is a long 6'2", 184, highly rated 4-star cornerback out of Houston, Texas. Okay, MacArthur High School. I mean, we were going bonkers when we got this kid. And again, he hasn't necessarily had his shot on the field yet, but to have that type of caliber corner on a two deep, that just shows you how far OU's come, because we didn't always have that the last 5 years. That wasn't guaranteed. Okay? And with the way the cornerbacks are playing the last couple of years, you got to be excited for what we got coming on. Okay? Now, that's a spot where, right, you go 5 deep, literally. 5 deep. You can switch it. You can switch them out anywhere you want. All 5 of those guys seem to be guys that could get on the field, if not at least 4. That's crazy, okay? And to not feel like you're going to drop off production, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, especially where we've been, where we've only really been able to really put one guy out there at a time. And even if he didn't do great, hey, he's what we got. It's not that way anymore. And Grinch is changing the narrative. So I'm excited for these guys. I think they're going to be ball hawking cornerbacks. I think they're going to be people, I think they're going to be people that really, really prove themselves this year and prove to be one of the better units on this team and one of the better units in the Big 12. Maybe one of the best defensive back rooms in the Big 12. And that's saying a lot, because Texas has a good DB room. TCU has a good DB room typically. Iowa State has a pretty good, decent DB room. I keep saying DBU. I'm tripping. DB room. Okay, they're not slouches in the Big 12. Okay, don't let people tell you wrong. Okay, just because people think in the Big 12 you don't play defense, it's not true. One of the best defensive backs in the country last year was at TCU. Is going to get drafted in this coming draft pretty high. So don't let them tell you that. Now we're gonna dive a little bit, not much, just a little bit, right, into the defensive back room, the Nickelback portion of the defensive back room. And one name I did leave out there, they're trying out their cornerback is Justin Harrington. So that's 6 guys right there, right? That's why I said three on each side. That if Justin Harrington's going to be out there and actually covering people on the outside, I mean, that's a 6'3", 217 corner, dog. Like, Grinch's guys are finally in this, and it's going to be really exciting to see what he's going to do with them and what it's really going to look like. I'm waiting for a no-fly zone, to be honest with you. And so when you look at that and you look at how much depth there is at that position and the highly touted depth there is at that position, I won't even necessarily say proven. I think Woody Washington's proven himself. I think Jaden he's been a little inconsistent. I think DJ Graham has made some plays, right? But sheer talent-wise and depth-wise, that you could say, like, yo, if they can be consistent, it's good. It's very good. Okay, so I'm really not worried about the defensive back room. Yeah, sure, there's a little bit of experience there, but the sheer talent level there, along with the best unit, that's the defensive line that we're going to be talking about next week, that I'm excited about. It's going to be good. Okay, we're going to have a lot of opportunities for batted balls. We're going to have a lot of opportunities to read the quarterback's eyes. We're going to have a lot of opportunities to jump routes. That's what we're looking for. Chaos. Now, moving on to the Nickelback position again, we got Billy Bowman, okay, the stud out of Ryan High School in Denton. He's just going to be a jack of all trades. He's going to be somebody that is probably going to be a. Some people probably say what we all hoped Bookie was going to be here. And don't get me wrong, Bookie had a great career at OU. Was one of the best teammates you'll find, and he was good on the field. He really was. He, obviously, if he didn't have his rough edges, sometimes get the penalties that maybe you didn't love. Even though, hey, you'd rather have somebody sticking for a teammate than not, or feel like they have that edge than not. You really didn't hear much. And it's not that he didn't flash as far as interceptions all the time. He made the game-winning interception against TCU in 2019. He maybe didn't flash a ton, but you didn't hear a lot from that position past really 2018, 2019. Okay, once you got in 2019, 2020, and then this last year, you didn't hear a lot from him. And that's good. That means he was doing his job, right? And that's all you can ask for. So I don't want to hear any Bookie slander. Not on the timeline, not in the comments. Just honestly, period. But I think Billy Bowman might be what we're all hoping he was going to be, this dynamic athlete that's going to change the way the OU defense is looked at, the OU defensive back room is looked at. We'll see what happens. I'm really excited about him, especially in that spot. We got Key Lawrence as a DB. He's going to be used probably as more of a safety in that role, but we'll be able to probably line up against a couple bigger tight ends, especially when we go against Iowa State and Charlie Kohler and their big tight ends down there. Their 2-3 tight end sets. Key Lawrence is going to be somebody that Alex Grinch probably deploys on a need-to-know basis, which you got to love that. You got to love having that opportunity. Probably Justin Harrington might be out there. He may switch between nickelback and corner when it comes down to it, which is exciting. Again, 6'3", long. Okay, we haven't even got to Jordan Mukes, who, again, I know is a safety and will be back there. He's listed as a safety. We talked about him last week. But I'm just talking about the sheer length that we have. And then we're going to get to Kendall Dennis, who, again, just the sheer depth. He highly 4-star recruit, had pretty good reviews in spring practice. Again, he just, there's so much talent in the room. It's kind of hard to break through. Okay, which is why Jamal Morris had to move down. Robert Barnes had to go out to Colorado. It just is what it is. Jeremiah Cradell, we'll have a way to get to. This cat, like I told y'all last week, Alex Grinch said he's made the biggest jump he's ever seen from a player, period, that he's ever coached. That's a lot. That's a lot to say. So I'm more than stoked having him in the nickelback position as well. He's a great athlete, somebody that, if you remember, before we even hired Alex Grinch in the beginning of 2019, Lincoln Riley got Jeremiah Cradell to commit. And you remember that iconic video of him committing, putting the OU hat on, throwing the horns down, Lincoln pumping his fist, everybody going nuts because he was one of the highest rated corners in America in that cycle. From Modern Day High School, California, keeping the pipeline going. Okay, we got Relief Brown coming next year, hopefully. Right, hoping he signs. We've had bad streak of running backs lately. I don't think that's gonna jack up, but you never know. Knock on wood. Okay, so again, like I said, guys, this room, we're really gonna look for them to take that next step that all think they can and can be the second best unit on this team. Now, Brian Odom might have something to say about that. I feel like he didn't watch my video, but I feel like he's coming after me because he said this unit has the ability to be the best unit here in period in the nation. I wouldn't take any other linebacker unit over them. Hey, that's saying something. that is saying something. So again, it's when I even talked about the linebackers and said that in my opinion they had the most to prove or were the weakest units per se. What I meant was on the team, and the fact that we're talking about that and not, are they going to be a detriment to the defense? That's not even what I was saying. I was just talking about, hey, if we had to even have this conversation, this is what it would look like. But the fact that Brian Odom feels that great about them is scary. The fact that Alex Grinch feels as good as he does about the defensive backs is scary. And we haven't even got to the defensive line yet, y'all. So this is the year for us, 2021. Okay, the defense could be better than the offense, and that's saying something because the offense is going to be elite. Elite. Just what it is. So, again, y'all, I appreciate y'all sticking in here with me. We're going to get through this, and we're gonna really explore and dive into some draft topics a little bit. We'll also dive into just some other opinion pieces. But this is how I wanted to start us off on the YouTube channel. Just go through some spring previews up into the spring game. So we'll hit that spring game, and then we'll really get rolling here. I plan on dropping 2 videos a week, Lord willing, if I'm able to get them out with my schedule. I think that should be more than plausible. But y'all pray for me. Looking to grow the channel. Please tell people about me. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them that I know what I'm talking about. That I'm not crazy. That I'm not delusional, as some people would think. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Like I said, we in here for the long haul. Boomer.